race fans. Are you ready for this? The Nitro Party is back at Mo-Kan as we celebrate our 61st anniversary with Nitro Chaos. Friday night and Saturday, July 14th and 15th. Over 20 Nitro-powered ground pounders of all kinds in a Run What You Brung battle for $35,000. These fire-breathing monsters come to life under the lights with 2 rounds of Friday night qualifying. Saturday afternoon is final qualifying before the gloves come off. In elimination Saturday night, plus special guest and event Grand Marshal, Missouri's own Nitro legend. Scott Palmer will be in the house, looking to break the all-time track record in his top fuel dragster. Both nights at see Studezilla versus Bad Attitude Nitro Robots. Side by side, both nights. Can you handle the chaos? Kids 12 and under are free, and every ticket's a pit pass. Visit MoCanDragway.com for more info. July 14th and 15th. Nitro fumes and header flames will fill the sky. Trust us when we say, you gotta be there.
Live here from Smokin' Mo-Kan in the tower, and what a great panel we've got lined up here. I'm your host, Lee Craft, the Monday Morning Racer, just, well, east of the Kansas border. Yeah, I didn't realize how the closest place is to Kansas. Like, it's right there, right over there. Chris Graves, series owner, Carl Blanton, track owner, and then living Nitro legend all the way on the end, Scott Palmer down there. And Scott, I know it doesn't pertain necessarily to Nitro Chaos, but I want to ask, Tricky Ricky Smith going in the car here soon. Are you nuts?
No. It's Tricky Ricky Smith. He mentioned over the winter, he helped me work on my Pro Mod to go to the World Series of Pro Mod. And I don't know anything about suspension, so he wasted his whole winter trying to explain to me how to do the suspension on this thing. And, you know, I wasn't really going down there and going to make him look good either. So, because I was down there just messing around with my clutch car. And he mentioned over the winter something about, you know, he wouldn't mind seeing what that feels like. And I said, I thought about that for a month or so. And then I told him, I said, hey, if you're serious about that, I want to make that happen. That'd be awesome. That's a good thing about being able to do what you want to do and not have to do the corporate thing all the time. Because to me, that's badass. Tricky Ricky Smith stabbing the gas on a top fuel dragster, to me is, I mean, before he retires, if anybody like him and his status, and there's not many of them left, he wants to stab the gas on his top fuel dragster, I'm going to make that happen if at all possible. I can still remember him lined up with Bob Glidden and those guys, you know, and fighting, and you know, I mean, he's not corporate. He does it his way. He works his ass off, you know.
He's certainly the real deal, the real drag racer. And hey, Chris,
if we make a good enough career out of ourselves in the next couple of years, maybe he'll let us hit the gas.
Well, what would you think about Ricky Smith being at a Nitro Chaos?
Oh man, I'm all over it. That'd be great. I grew up watching Ricky Smith. That's awesome.
Hey, can you imagine him showing up at one of these events racing? I think we can get him. I think he's going to get the bug. He's going to get the bug. And even if he retires, what a good place to come.
Retiring from door slammer racing just opens the door for Nitro.
Exactly. I told him, I said, we're going to do this right as it gets dark because we're going to have header flames. You can't drive a Nitro car without header flames.
And you know Bob Z's going to get the picture too.
Yeah, Bob Z will be there.
Right.
Bob Z will be here. Bob Z's on his way right now. So we got to, got my phone.
Well,
that's only my first beer.
Yeah, just the first one. Carl, look, you have a facility that is always rocking with some great events, but I'm sure the highlights have to be Funny Car Chaos, have to be Nitro Chaos. Nitro Chaos this weekend. How big is a weekend where Nitro is at this facility for you all?
For me personally, it's unbelievable. I would have never dreamed we could do that here. I've been here 25 years. Been around drag racing for 50 years, and to think I have my own track where we're going to get some real deal Nitro cars going down it, and it's a small hometown track, and the fans are going to be up close and personal with it. It's unbelievable. And we have Chris Graves to thank for it, and Scott Palmer, of course. But, you know, it's all about relationships. The three of us over the last 25 years have been building relationships. And, you know, we're all about helping each other out. And maybe we'll make a few bucks in the meantime.
I can remember when Carl called and Funny Car Chaos had only done one race. And it was that over the winter after Funny Car Chaos won. And we had announced, I think, that we were going to go to Amarillo, and then we announced we were going to go to Havana, and that was kind of it. And Carl, and Mo-Kan's always been my favorite racetrack, and he knows that. And I've been coming here since I was a little kid doing photos with Outlaw Fuel Aldridge and stuff. And so I knew he was going to call me, but honestly, I thought it's not, I don't know, it's just not right. But what a big mistake that would have been, because it's perfect and I love it. And this is definitely my favorite drag strip. And Carl's a great operator, and we're going to have a good time this weekend.
Actually, the conversation went like this. I called him up and I said, "What am I, Peck's bad boy? I don't get a race. What the hell?"
Right. Yeah.
And so within 5 minutes, Chris was all about it, and I was backing up. I was thinking, "Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to do that or not."
Right.
So I'm glad we did, and it's worked out. And it's made us a better racetrack.
And now you're the only track in the country that gets two.
There you go.
All right. You're not entered in Nitro Chaos this weekend, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Right. You need to hurry up and defend that first one. You're the winner of the first ever Nitro Chaos at Eddyville, Iowa for the A field. I wanted to see a defense of it, Mr. Palmer.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll do that or not. I'm here. I grew up the first time I moved to Missouri. Actually, the first weekend, we drove over here to Mo-Kan and watched the races, and that hooked me. And I came over here. Bracket. Yeah, I had a street car. I tried to bracket race. I sucked at it. I was the worst bracket racer in history. I love bracket racing. And Matt Driscoll was here. And Matt at the time we were all young. And Matt was over here, and he just kicked everybody's ass. I mean, he was unbelievable over here. So we come over here and watch every once in a while. And I street race, brought my street car over there. And I still say it. Them Hodge boys, my biggest ass chewing has been on the starting line here in the 90s. For doing a dry hop across the starting line. And you know which one did it.
Yeah.
And he'll be here this weekend, hopefully for a day. He's in a little bit of bad health right now, but I bet he comes out here. If not, I'm gonna go to his house and rattle his chain a little bit, for sure. But I love this racetrack. It's an awesome track.
That's great.
So we'll see. I mean, I'm probably just gonna show off, have a good time, party.
There you go.
I mean, we're pretty serious when it comes to running the cars, but I just want to put on a good show for the people. The crowd here is unbelievable, and it'll be packed. It's going to be a good show.
Yep.
The fan base, I have to agree. I go to a lot of drag strips, obviously like you, and keep knocking many of them off the list. And Carl, you've got a special group, and I don't mean that in a bad way either. You've got a good special fan base here. Like, they stay through the rain, they stay through junior dragsters. It doesn't matter what's out there. They're watching it and they're eating it up. Yeah. What have you done to create a special fan base?
I don't know. I don't know if it was the lead and the gravel that used to be around here. I'm not sure what it was, but we
had you had a fan base at Ozark when you were there too. I mean,
Yeah, I wasn't there long, but yeah, we had
Carl creates that because he's fair. He's fair and honest. There's no bullshit with Carl. It's just, this is how it is, and take it or leave it.
Well, thank you.
And that's what grown men like. That's what we like. We want a place to race.
Yeah. Anybody that comes here to match race or whatever, jet cars, whatever, they always say the same things. They were coming around. They wanted pictures. They wanted autographs, and they're all about it. They want to talk about how they feel about running here, and yeah, we've got some great fans.
No doubt.
What do you think about the fans? I mean, you're going to a lot of tracks, and I know this place is special to you personally, but you interact with fans. You see how fans respond through social media and other ways. So what do you see are highlights of this fan base?
There's just something about it, but it's been like that since the first day. We came here, I don't even know when Outlaw Fielder started running here. It was a long time ago, and I didn't even have a driver's license, I don't think, or I was definitely 18 or something like that. Taking pictures, this place was packed, and everybody knew when you go to Mo-Kan, you got to order more T-shirts, and you got to, it's gonna happen. The fans here are crazy, and they're awesome. And I just told Carl tonight, hey, it might rain. We don't know, but I guarantee you the fans are going to stay until the final round, and they're going to stay until Scott Palmer runs that top fuel car down the track.
And I'll run it in the rain.
If it's
don't believe it, just Google it.
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I saw somebody said, there's a little bit of rain in the forecast. I said, I don't care. I'm pulling mine out there and running it. I guarantee you it will go down the track this weekend.
They will be here. They won't leave till Scott Palmer runs that drag strip. They won't.
They know something stupid could happen.
It's a fantastic fan base. We love coming up here, and we appreciate their support. Without their support, we're not here. Nobody's here. So thank you, Mo-Kan fans.
Speaking of running, we already have 3 people in the chat saying that you need to run for president. Oh.
I might do that. That's not a bad idea.
Can I be your campaign manager?
Boy, would we raise hell in the White House. Man, they ain't ever seen that cocaine they found. That probably wouldn't be nothing. They'd be wishing for that back.
Oh.
We would definitely raise hell. We'd have some hot rods in the garage there.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I might do it.
Do it. Do it.
Please, Lord.
Yeah, that would be great. Run for president. You might get a good portion of the vote, especially from the drag racing side of things.
We wouldn't be able to afford this fancy beer that Chris gave me, but we'd have a lot of Coors Light in there. I guarantee you the place would be packed with Coors Light.
Chris, the show this weekend, another great lineup. Nitro Chaos continues to grow and expand. Talks of a C field coming possibly in 2024. We know we've got Palmer with Nitro Pro Mods, but apparently the Ferris gang and Kevin Kinsley gang are also bringing a door slammer out on Nitro this weekend.
That's right. Yeah, they bought a 63 Corvette that's well known down there in Texas. I forget what they call it, but anyway,
it was
Clayton Poole's car. Yeah, Clayton Poole's car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, and Joe Munden and Brad Thompson did some changes and stuff, and so they warmed it up, posted a video on Facebook. Shane called me Sunday, said, "Hey man, we're bringing both cars," and I was like, "Oh, okay," because initially he was just going to bring one or the other, and then he said, "No, we're going to bring both," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then he called me 2 days ago and said, "You know what? If we shake it down and it goes pretty good, we're just going to throw Howard in it, and he's going to enter the race." I'm like, "Far out." So there's 3 Nitro Pro Mods going to be here. We got Palmer's both, and then we got the Ferris Pro Mod, and then we got our buddy Andy Fangman, who debuted his Nitro Pro Mod in competition at Nitro Chaos in Eddyville. What a badass car, 420 bracket car.
He needs to be. I put a little pressure on him to be here. I wish he was going to.
Oh, yeah, he's got a match race.
I love that car.
That car should be match race every weekend.
Yes, that car is definitely the way it should be done. For sure, that's the way.
So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to talk to Scott, and then we're going to have to talk to Ferris. We're going to have to talk to Andy. We're going to have a little side class called Nitro Pro Mod at Nitro Chaos. And
Marty Chance has got one too. And
there's 5 now.
There's 5. Yeah. There's 5 cars right now.
We're almost to 8. If you're listening and you're wondering what car to build a Nitro Pro Mod and call us.
We got a Firebird in the shop right now.
There's 5.5. There's 5.5.
We got one more left. I don't want to do another one. Yeah, I mean, let's go. Shane called me today. Actually, he called me and he was panicking. He had ordered some lug nuts for that car, and
you ain't never done that, right?
And a Crispin rear end, they're different than a Stranger rear end and all that. So there's kind of a different thread pitch on them. So he was panicking. He didn't have lug nuts. I mean, and I've actually been in that same position. I swapped rear ends, and my McKinney or my Crispin rear end was different than the Strange. So anyway, I've been in that shape, and I said, "Hey, I bet I have some.
Mm-hmm.
I bet I have some lug nuts." So I fat rounded him some up.
Good.
Because I want to see it, you know.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, what'd you say? There's no such thing as too much nitro or whatever.
That's right. More nitro is never a problem.
And Kev drives, basically our boat, and we've been buddies forever. And
Fred Spell told me when I told him, Shane said, "I'm going to shake it down and see how it goes, and then we might race it." I called Fred. Fred said, "Kevin ain't shaking a damn thing down. It's going to the finish line. Yeah. First pair down, first out of the box. There's no testing." So Kevin.
Oh yeah, he don't live.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting.
Yeah,
it'd be good.
And he's here to break Kevin's record on the 8th mile. Because last year Kevin broke the 8th mile record with a 53, I believe.
54.
So I think you're going to get.
I'm not here for anything. I'm here to show off.
Well, we know, but
yeah.
I'm the promoter, so I'm going to say you're here to break records.
You never know. I might put Kevin in there and break his own record.
You might. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. He won't say no.
He will not say no.
So out there in the chat, put in how many times you think Scott Palmer would drop his phone through the beer that he currently has. That's number 2 as of right now. That's 2. So let us know what the number is going to be.
He's only had 2 sips.
Right. He's still got well over halfway to go on that beer.
Red Spell comments. Jim Nearhoof, friend of mine in Florida. He's got a top fuel car. Maybe he needs to change his. He's building a top fuel car to do some racing with us, and this would be a good place for him to run it. Yeah. But maybe he needs to put his in a door car too. Maybe we need to switch all them.
Well, there's a whole lot of pro mod racers that all they gotta do is just change what their power plant.
You're right.
Yo, pro mod guys. Let's
There's
do
a
it.
lot of them will do it.
I'm
I
sure
think
there
they will do
probably
it,
is.
you know.
There's nothing but
I don't know
drama
if it's
in
the
that.
smartest thing to do.
No, it's not smart.
But that's fine. That's fine. I know why me and Shane Ferris did it. I know that's why Shane and them guys did it. And I know that's why Kev's going to
It takes leadership, Scott.
He
And
drives
that's
a
you.
boat. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I lead the way. That's why you don't see a lot of them yet, because not many people follow. They're smarter than that.
So we've got Megan Meyer commenting. She's like, hey, can't wait to get there. And she says she's going for that trophy once again. Chris, we have a tie right now in the points. B field, A field represented Gary Wheeler with the Grand Prix guys. They have remained consistent, 2 final round appearances. Megan Meyer has got a win, went out in a semifinal round appearance, a tie, first year in a championship chase. You can't ask for anything better coming into the next to last race.
I can't. And I think number 3 and 4 and 5 really aren't that far behind either. It's going to be a fun last 2 races here at Mo-Kan, and then September 22nd, 23rd, we go to Pine Valley Raceway in Lufkin, relocated from Oklahoma. We won't talk about that, but the 2 more races. There's the A and B. It works. It just works. And people thought I was insane when we told them how we race these cars. And they're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and there's no way it's going to work, and you can't run an alcohol car versus nitro car, and you can't run a nostalgia car versus a modern day car, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. And well, yeah, you can. And it's entertaining, and people like it, and it fits. I like the creativity it gives the teams. I like the creativity that it gives people's engine combination. They can do what they want. They can run the body style and the type of car they want. I like to see what people do when there's no red tape. So to have an A field and a B field car tied right now is going to be great. We're excited. Now, Wheeler might not think of himself as an A field car or a B field car. That car is going to haul ass one of these days here pretty quick. They've only got 7 or 8 runs on that thing, but they're on their home turf this weekend, and I know they're going to want a dub. So, and Megan technically is on the home turf too. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. If you're not here, I'm sorry, but you can watch it on Flow Racing.
Oh, no. You need to be here.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're within 150 miles, you need to be here.
You can watch alcohol cars on TV or Flow Racing or whatever you need to watch on. Man, you need to get here.
Yeah.
You got to get here to see this.
We're going to be pounding the ground 3 states wide, right?
Absolutely.
And I've had a lot of people ask me, hey, man, what time you run? I said, it ain't about what I run. The whole day, the whole
It's a
weekend
bunch of
is
nitro.
nitro. It's not just, when we go to do an exhibition deal or a match race,
Right.
it's usually just us running nitro.
Yeah.
This is a lot of, honestly, a little bit of pressure just to.
There's about 30 nitro cars going to be here if you count them all.
There's a lot of nitro cars. It's like going to an NHRA national event at your home track.
That's right.
Exactly.
And that's what this is like. And none of those guys would come here and run because they forget where they come from, honestly. And they forget that you can still come and run on a track. There's nothing wrong with this track.
That's right.
It may not be super wide or whatever it is that you need, what you call safety. But if you're really worried about safety, stay home. I mean,
It's more dangerous to drive to the racetrack than it is to drive a top
it
fuel
is.
car.
It is.
The highway is
100%.
way more dangerous than that racetrack.
100%.
There's no doubt about that.
This definitely levels the playing field just coming because you think about what you're doing out here and the track surface. This track, I walked this track. I was here with Rick, little Ricky DeCousin. He come and he got a super comp car, top dragster actually. And he came and raced and won the first race.
I saw that.
But while we were here, I walked this whole track down here. It's amazing the difference from when I ran here in the 90s.
Well,
I walked on
Mr.
the
Blanton
track.
has spent
it's
a
his-
bunch
yeah, he
of
did.
money
Yeah.
on these walls and
Yeah,
on the
100%.
grinding and on the paving of the entry roads and all the things he's done. This is a different. It's different. It
different.
looks the same, but it's a lot different.
It's a lot. Yeah. The fact that it looks the same is what makes it cool.
Yeah.
That's what makes it cool. And you'll see there's going to be some big numbers
Oh, yeah.
there this weekend. There'll be some big numbers.
There was great numbers and great action here for the last Nitro Chaos event, and we're only expecting that much more and that much better here for this event at Mo-Kan. Carl, they just mentioned facility upgrades. Curious, as things continue to progress and move along, what's on your mind as a track owner to do anything else, or are you just going to enjoy sitting up here in the tower at this point?
No, we want to continue to make improvements. The limiting factor for us is we're on leased land. And so we have to keep return on investment in mind. You know, we have to be able to pay for what we do. We don't have a big bank account to draw from. So, but we've been able to do that. And after 25 years, we've gotten pretty good at it. You know, we know what we can tolerate and financially, and that's what we're doing. And, you know, about every 2 or 3 years, we go back to the bank and we borrow on the equipment and we do something else. And that's what we're doing. So I know the pits need attention. I'd like to do
The
some
pits
more.
are fine.
Yeah, I know.
Perfect.
No, they don't, Carl.
Yeah, well, you know, we do work real hard on the place, and we study a lot of things, and we know how we want to maintain our asphalt and how we want to prep our concrete, and we know the right people to call and the right products to buy, and that just comes from 25 years of doing it and talking to a lot of people and trial and error, you know. But yeah, we want to continue to make improvements and be here as long as we can. I've kind of stepped back a little bit. I'm not here as much as I used to be, but I've got Tyler West now as my general manager. He started with us when he was 16, and he did a little tour around the country and managed some different tracks, and we brought him back here. And of course, Craig, my son Craig Blanton, has been here all along, and I mean, who could do anything better? He can fix the timing system, he can fix the PA, he can do the artwork for the website. He does it all, and you know, that's part of it. We just got such a fantastic support crew here. I'm always just the guy sitting back drinking beer, taking the compliments. I'm not the guy that's making it all happen.
I did watch Craig fix the track when we were here with Ricky Strong Friday night. They had a little bit of an issue, and man, he was busting ass out there.
Yeah, well,
And I did not see you on a tractor out there with him.
no, I didn't. I don't come out of the tower if I was even here. So yeah,
I don't think you were here.
yeah,
buddy.
those guys have been here a long time, and they do a great job. Mike Hodge, our starter, I think he's been here close to 40 years. That's
Ricky
incredible.
Smith's calling Scott Palmer right now. We're gonna answer it live.
Live.
What's going on, Ricky? We're doing a live interview, and your name came up.
Oh, damn.
Ask him how it feels to be ready to drive a top field car.
Think somebody gonna shoot you?
No, it's not NHRA that was calling.
Oh, that was good.
I'm not sitting here at the NHRA interview. We're at Nitro Chaos, and your name came up on. They want to know what you're thinking when you thinking about driving a top fuel car.
Yeah. Well, just let them keep wondering, right?
Everybody wants to know how far you think you're going to go.
That's up to you, the boss man.
Hey, oh man, Ricky Smith says I'm the boss man. That kind of scares me. I'm kind of nervous. I feel like I should sit up straight in my chair right now.
Yeah, put your beer down.
I got to put my beer down, Ricky.
Yeah.
All right, I'll call you back later. We're just talking about that deal, and they said, man, maybe we get him over here to run a Nitro Chaos race with us sometime. I said, well, that's a possibility, because I don't know anybody who's ever hit the gas in a Nitro car one time.
Right, right.
So you might retire from Pro Mod and Pro Stock and all that, but it might be the start of your Nitro career.
Might be another start.
It might be. All right, I'll call you later.
All right, buddy. See ya.
All right, bye.
All right, so you were bragging on Hodge.
Yep, Mike Hodge. We truly believe he's been here 40 years. Most of that on the starting line. I don't think there's a better starter in drag racing. And we just got a great crew. Steve Goss out there on the staging lanes, and the whole family works here. I mean, from the concession to the ticket booth.
Don't forget Jamie.
Jamie does a fantastic job.
I've tried to hire the front gate girl here for years, and Carl won't let me have it.
No, she's property of Mo-Kan.
Yeah, it's no joke.
She don't hate me by the end of the week.
No.
Yeah. Well,
She's gonna hate me.
We're sitting here watching the trash crew work right now. I mean, I go to every track we go to on a Wednesday. There's never anybody at the drag strip working. They always wait till Friday morning to try to start working. And they got people hauling trash right now, getting all these trash cans. I mean, Mo-Kan has just got it going on. They just do.
We're going to take a quick break. Tonight's show brought to you by Spell Paving. And while I'm going to, Fred Spell. Yeah,
He's
we
on
all.
his way right now. Ain't you, Fred?
Aren't you, Fred?
You better be on your way, Fred.
Answer that question, Fred,
Answer it.
as we go to break.
Spell Paving Services provides professional customer service and performance for your next industrial or large-scale private paving project. From parking lots, roads, and driveways to seal coat, chip seal, concrete, and asphalt, there's no job too big for the team at Spell Paving Services. Serving a 500-mile radius from Dallas-Fort Worth, Spell Paving Services has you covered. Call 214-384-3056 to get a competitive quote today and tell them the Chaos sent you. Race fans, the Taylor Motorsports Products is your first stop for quality safety equipment for your car or your driver. All of our safety equipment products are made in our facility in Albany, Oregon. From custom fit fire suits to racing seat belts, supercharger restraints, engine diapers, transmission blankets, and many other must-have items. Our racing history runs deep. We are racers building the finest safety equipment for racers. And we're a proud supporter of the Chaos.
And we're back, and we did lose Carl for a moment. He will be back. He's not gone. He hasn't entered into a alternate universe. He will, well, maybe back there. It could possibly be an alternate universe. Fred Spell says he's working in, I think, Baytown.
Yeah,
they said Baytown. Yeah, Bay City. Bay City.
Get on your private jet and come on up. We know he's got one. He just ain't sharing it.
Yeah.
There's no excuse, Fred.
Yeah, really.
There's really no excuse for
really
Fred not
not.
being here.
I mean, you should even be on the show right now. This one's presented by
You're
you.
here, you could be on the show.
That's right.
That's right.
Talk.
Yeah,
Yeah, he would be.
we know you're on the other end.
No,
He says he's coming to Albuquerque, though. Mr. Spell says he's coming to Albuquerque. Of all events to pick this year, of course, it's our first time to go to Albuquerque. We're all excited to go. And Funny Car Chaos, by the way, which we also announced today that the track has put up $3,000 bounty, which is huge for the first 3-second run, because apparently no wheel-driven car ever in 60 years of existence has run in the threes at that track.
Okay. I bet Kirk Williams does.
I bet Kirk Williams and Will Hanna are fighting for the first shot in the staging lanes. Then you got Jeff Cameron, and you got Shane Lawson, and you got a lot of these heavy-hitting alcohol
There's a
cars.
lot of them gonna do it.
Yep. I
bet
told the
some
track
fair.
owner, I said, dude, this is a shoe-in. We got this. And he goes, dude, I'm telling you, you probably don't. And I'm like, okay,
All right.
we'll see.
I put away
$3,000. Golly. From the track. Where's your bonus at?
You know, Lynn Moore came and got my my alcohol funny car. He's going to run some of these deals. I might have to borrow it for that weekend. I might have to make a comeback.
Dude, we're going to have to get Jimmy Jones out there.
Yeah, Jimmy Jones will do it.
Shoot.
Sure.
Shoot, we can get a body mounted on that car in 3 weeks, can't we?
I tried to get him to take that one and just take it and run it.
It's the same, yeah.
He could just take that car and run it.
We know you're
I'm
watching
on
too, Jimmy. We know you're watching.
so does that mean a Keith Zimmerer versus Kirk Williams match race?
Fred's calling.
Uh-oh, Fred's calling.
top. Fred's calling.
Fred, you're on speakerphone.
I'll put another 1,000 on that bounty.
What? Y'all heard it first. Another 1,000.
Another 1,000 on the bounty for New Mexico.
Oh, Funny Car Chaos just got lit up. I got it. Thank you, sir.
Hey, what about the top fuel record this weekend? Where's the bounty for that? Big baller, come on.
I'll put 1,000 on the top fuel record for this.
Oh,
yeah.
all you gotta do is ask. Hey, I need $1,000 worth of diapers.
Hey, I'll Fred, since you're doing 1,000, I'll do 500 if he breaks the record. How's that?
Oh, it's getting serious.
That's getting up there.
It's getting serious.
Is there anything for media at this point?
Yeah. Is there a media bonus or a promoter bonus? No. Okay. Thank you, Fred.
Yeah, 500 for Lee.
500 for Lee. Wow. Everybody gets a cupcake but me.
Ask Fred if he's in a casino or a strip club.
Farmer wants to know if you're in a casino or a strip club.
I know the answer then. That answers it.
It got real quiet. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Fred.
All right, later.
Later. Spell Paving, ladies and gentlemen.
Spell Paving. Thank you,
Things
Spell.
happen.
Red
Big,
Spell.
Incredible things happen for Funny Car Chaos.
He
Thank
does
you,
a lot
Fred.
For a lot of people.
He does a lot.
helps
Thank you,
lot of
sir.
people. He helps a lot of people that people don't know.
And all you racers, don't be calling my sponsor asking them for money.
Yeah.
That ain't how it works. I know how some of y'all are, most of y'all. Anyway.
Hey, I gotta back up a minute here. So the problem with thanking people is you always forget somebody. And when we're thanking all the crew that works here at Mo-Kan, we have the finest computer operator in the business, hands down. Gina Blanton, my daughter-in-law, Craig's wife. Ask
100% agree.
as when he's trying to hire Jamie, he's also trying to hire Gina
Absolutely.
because she could work that AccuTime now.
Yep.
You got a great crew. Scott, you were talking about with your crew earlier, and we had someone ask the margarita machine.
He's not here.
Get out. What?
Listen, we were loading yesterday, and Ricky looks up there, and I said, "Don't make eye contact with that thing. It's setting up on a pallet rack, about three levels high, and it's just sitting there looking at us, And I said, "Man, don't make eye contact with that thing."
Was the last time that thing ran when Tara blew the belt off of it?
No.
Okay. My wife slung the blower belt off that thing.
We did whack this all 50 times.
Yeah. I thought she done kicked the rods out. I'm like, great. Now I'm going to get this bill that's going to kill me. But
no, that thing ran 375 or something.
Wow.
That year, that same motor, because we put a note on it. We took it out, serviced it, because we take them right out of the trailer and put them right in there. That's not a bunch of junk in that margarita machine. It sits there without a motor in it, and that's part of the cool part is we roll it into the pits and stick a motor out of the trailer in it and whack this throttle with it. We might have got overserved the first batch we made, and the second batch we whacked the throttle about 50 times.
That was the coolest, one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Nitro and alcohol don't mix, actually.
No. Well, speaking of throttle whacking, Nitro Chaos 1, winner's circle, in front of the tower.
Oh, yeah.
Gerald Kramer told me, I will never forget. This is the greatest freaking winner's circle I've ever seen.
That's the only thing I think he said was louder than my music that night.
Well, you did get in trouble, but we parked you right across from Gerald's bed. That was our bad.
That wasn't. He was right in the line of fire.
He was.
I know he still likes me.
Oh, yeah.
He don't hate me.
Oh, yeah. No.
It's not the first complaint I've ever had.
No. There's no complaining. It was all good.
Scott, Jeanette Desjardins is asking, where's the cannon? What are we talking about?
The cannon will be here.
No.
The cannon is on. That's Jim Weens. Jim Weens races, and he's, Carl knows him. We've raced over it. Actually, Jim has a badass pro mod, twin turbo clutch car, but he's a badass bracket racer in the 90s. He had a blown Camaro that he actually won rounds with. He kicked ass over here a lot. I mean, he ran over here a lot, that thing. But he has a cannon. He does clutch on our car and got a big machine shop in Nixon, Missouri, but he'll be here.
Have we notified the authorities about this weekend?
I'm sure they will be notified.
They will be notified.
All over.
There's going to be so many explosions here.
I've made some enemies with the cannon too.
Yeah.
I have.
Does the southwestern Missouri state troopers and things, they know you?
Yeah, Bristol, Tennessee was the best one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to tell us all about it?
They came and wanted to know what was going on, and it was pretty bad. We almost got in trouble for that, but they let us off. But we shot it at Bristol at Thunder Valley, and you think it was loud and flat ground. You ought to be down in there and shoot a cannon on. Because this is, I've seen him shoot 3 or 4 pounds of gunpowder.
Wow.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Well, you had it at Eddyville. I've seen it too.
Yeah,
it's.
Oh yeah, he let us. Yeah.
Yeah, we went down to the end.
We went down to the end. That's right. Yeah.
I got it all on cell phone video.
I think he wanted that instead of the music. But I think the music was quieter than the cannon after we were done. But, usually I won't do this, but I did turn the speakers around and point it away from his house.
Okay, well.
Because they were, y'all didn't tell me he lived right there.
Yeah.
I was right in the line of fire. So everybody set me up for failure right there.
We did. Good times.
For sure. Carl, you had here for the Labor Day event, right? Was here with Don Garlett's Grand Marshal, right? Was that Labor Day?
Chaos.
That was Nitro Chaos. So it's still Funny Car Chaos, still Labor Day. So last year, Don Garlett was here, drag racing legend, obviously, GOAT. And this year we've got Scott Palmer driving and acting as Grand Marshal. Do you feel like you're old enough to be Grand Marshal, Scott?
That's a lot of pressure. I do have a good Don Carlos story.
Tell us.
Let's hear it.
I raced him the last run he ever made in a conventional top fuel dragster. It's actually a trivia question they've used on NHRA.
Wow.
The O'Reilly orange and white car against
Yeah.
his Summit car at Indy Q5. Neither one of us are going to qualify. We both know it. He ran 370, whatever. But every run, I was paired up with him about 3 out of the 5 runs, and I ran with my sheet over there to TC Lemons and Don. I was like, man, I'm paired up with Don Carlos. And it was me and Spencer, you know, and I was like, I'm going to get to race Don Carlos. I was so nervous. And then we'd pull up in the lanes. So you know how it is that somebody pulls out of line or doesn't make the run, so they'd shift him up a car. Oh, I didn't get to race him. So Q5 comes around. I get the sheet. Oh my God, I'm paired up with Don Carlos. This is it. I get to do it. I ran around the corner, got that deal. TC Lemons is standing there and he's holding it up toward me, you know. He says, hey, Gar's in here. He says, we're going to race, you know. And I talked to him, you know, he can't hear real good. So I'm trying to talk to him and he goes, hey, don't you worry about it. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to tell him we're racing. We're staying in this pair. And we did. 376, I ran to his, or 476 to his 477. He beat me on a hole shot.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, it's the first time my leg I've never been nervous in my life in a car, but it was like being 12 years old driving a stick shift. My leg and a top fuel car, the clutch is a sponge. It's so easy to push. It's like you push it in 1/4 of an inch. And my leg was quivering like a 14-year-old kid trying to drive a stick shift the first time. I couldn't hardly back the car up. My leg was quivering. I was looking over. I was trying to stay beside Don Garlitz so I'd be on TV, you know, because they're not going to show me. I mean, they're going to show Don Garlitz, but it's
awesome.
It's a badass video.
That's awesome.
It's a pretty good Don Garlitz story.
That's great.
It is.
And I can't top it, but I will say how you felt racing Garlitz is how my Nitro Chaos guys feel racing you. Because at Eddyville, all my guys were like, oh, I want to run Palmer and qualify, man. Blind me up. You know,
we had a lot of fun.
It was awesome. But
Joe,
man,
not Joe.
Yeah.
I
Good
mean, we raced
stuff.
a lot. You know, we had a good time at Nitro Chaos. It was a lot of fun, you know. And personally, I want to do it, but I would like to put together a fuel altered or something to run Nitro Chaos. I don't really want to bring an NHRA top fuel dragster to one because not that I don't think that's fair, but I don't really think that's fair. You know, I don't really think that's fair. I think if I had a fuel altered or a funny car or something different, maybe not a big show car. Now, I think you could have a big show funny car and do it because a funny car is an equalizer.
right.
For sure.
Mhm.
Sure.
You take a big show funny car, it's still difficult.
Yeah,
It's
that's
more
Peanut.
difficult for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool to see Creasy and Eddyville.
God,
But
that was
anyway, you and a fuel altered would jive.
oh, I'm 100% would.
Scott Palmer fuel altered. That's
I
it.
know it. I'm a dragster guy trapped in or a fuel
A
altered
fuel-
guy
yeah.
trapped in a dragster guy's body or
Yeah.
something. I identify as a fuel altered guy.
There you go. I like
Well, you
it.
started in an alcohol fun car.
I
when you
did.
Moved up from. Yep.
I did actually. The first time we ran here, me and Spencer came over here. Spencer Massey. He meets me here. We unload the car right back here behind the tower, and I had a black 90-something model dually pickup Flame because I did custom paint then. Flame looked cool, and everybody's like, "Hey man, you know we mowed." I don't know if did you have it then?
I don't think so. No.
I think it was Wilbur's still, but anyway, they said we mowed down at the end. If you happen to run off the end, it's nice and smooth, and we cut it down real low. It's really smooth. I said, Spencer, get in. Well, this is the day before we run. We got in my dually pickup, and I pulled up there, and we may have been having a clear slide.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this was the day before we raced. We weren't racing that day, so we were being responsible. We stopped up here, and I gassed that dually pickup, and we drove it right off the end of the track into the grass at probably 80 miles an hour. And he goes, "What?" Spencer said, "What? What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to see how smooth it is." They said it's smooth. I might end up down here. That was pretty
That's
cool.
funny.
Dirt, grass, and shit flying everywhere. But we came here. I think it ran pretty good here. I can't remember what it ran back then, but back then it was 1/4 mile.
Yep.
You know, we weren't running 8th mile. We really didn't even look at our 8th mile times. Thank God it's 8th mile now. I love 8th mile racing.
I do too.
I love it. I think it's badass.
Scott, you were there at the first Nitro Chaos. You won in the A field. We haven't seen you in competition since then, and I think you should run the top fueler anyway, no matter if you think it's fair or not, because these things turn out.
I definitely don't think I could come in here and just kick ass and it'd be a cakewalk because these guys are all tough. but I do think that I would hate to see this turn into a Top Fuel dragster show. I want to see it be what it is right now. It's wild. I like wild stuff.
It got me out of South Carolina to Iowa the first time. I was like, yes, I'm going to check this. Yes, right.
That was voluntary.
Yes, I know. I'm like, this is my birthday. It was that good of a
I
show.
can tell you that picture and that big check and that trophy, it's pretty important to me. I love it. That means something to me.
And you mentioned, not becoming a Top Fuel show, but you've had to talk to other guys with Top Fuel cars. Because I think of like Greg Carrillo. I think of even my boss, Doug Foley. I think of the Leverages. I think of all those type of guys like Krista Baldwin. Go run here. Why not? Have you talked to them and said, you need to do chaos?
No, I think if you could get 8 of them, then like you're saying about pro mods or something, I think if you had 8 of them, run that separate
Side class, yeah.
I think if you had had 4 races to go along with this, or what, a certain amount of races, and you had even 4 or 8 big show style
Spell
cars.
Paving Nitro Chaos
Spell.
Top Fuel class.
There
It's
you go.
only like 50 grand a race.
That's a chump change for him. He's got that hidden in his motorhome, I guarantee.
Yeah.
In the chat, who wants Top Fuel chaos?
Top Fuel at Nitro Chaos. Fred Spell.
And really, you could do it. Now, this is easy. This is like somebody telling me how easy it is to, hey, you could go run your car this weekend. It's not that bad. It doesn't cost that much. But here we are telling you, hey, you could just add
You should
another
add this
of
class,
Top Fuel
yeah.
cars. But
Add 8 Top Fuel cars.
it'd
It's
be
not
cool if you
expensive.
did 8 Top Fuel cars and then 8 Big Show Funny cars to go along with some. I might have to get rid of one of those dragsters. and
We're
get
going
a
to have to
funny
figure
car.
it out.
Funny cars are the coolest. No matter, I'm a dragster guy, but
Funny cars are cool.
funny cars are
There's
cooler.
no doubt.
Sorry,
There's no
funny
doubt.
cars are cool.
For sure.
For sure.
Carl, you've known this guy for a while, Chris Graves. You've seen him from inception all the way to now, where he's bringing the circus routinely into this facility. Do some bragging on him about how far he's advanced and come along. Let's make the man blush here.
Well, I was doing a newspaper called American Drag News, and I'd put out a thing for correspondence. And of course, I got quite a few replies, but one I got was from a guy named Chris Graves. I believe he told me at the time he was 16. He was down in Texas somewhere. And of course, we were kind of geared towards sportsman racers, and what I was looking for was people to go to bracket races. And we signed him up on the deal and told him what the program was. And I'm sure he sent us some stuff. I haven't found it yet, but I know it's somewhere. And he had this thing about wanting to go to national events and watch nitro cars, which kind of ticked me off, really. I'm thinking that's not what I need. He's needing national event credentials and all that. But then I don't remember. We probably bumped into each other again when you came up with
Outlaw Fuel Alters and
Mitch King's car and Outlaw Fuel Alters, because we had them here in '99.
Memorial Weekend.
In '99, we had them here. Yeah. So, Chris and I have been friends since then, since he was 14. I don't know how old he is now.
I don't know.
He doesn't.
I'm
even,
almost 40. Holy.
Yeah. But I just got to say that, something like we're going to do this weekend is something that was always in the back of my mind. And the Funny Car Chaos would be the same way. I remember in '03 trying to book funny cars over here, and just calling all over the country and seeing if I could find one. And, to put a 4-car match race together was tough, So it was in the back of my mind that something like this could work. We tried it with the newspaper. We had the ADN Pro Series. I actually Scott Palmer ran in that.
Yep.
But what they've done over the last 5, 6, 7 years, what Chris and Tara have done with Nitro Chaos and Funny Car Chaos is unbelievable. They have brought a show to some select small to mid-sized tracks that there's no other way they could have that show. And it's creating tons of interest where there formerly was no interest. And what they've been able to accomplish, they were the right people with the right attitude in the right place at the right time. And I hope that some of what we talked about and some of what we mentored Chris and Tara with through the years has been a little bit of a help to them. But what they've done is incredible, and who knows how long it'll go and how far it'll go. But for two people to change drag racing the way they have is unbelievable, because I've been around this a long time, and I don't know of anybody that's done anything this impactful.
Well, that means a lot, man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But I will say that I call Carl every day and ask him, what do I do?
Yeah.
Every problem I've got, I call Carl Blanton. And, you know.
There's only one problem with that. Chris gets up at 6:30,
Yeah.
and I get up at 10.
I have to wait 4 hours
I'm a 10:30 guy too.
Yeah.
So my wake up call, that's Chris. I better get up.
I have to wait 4 hours to get my problem solved. But
Yep.
I usually call him about 9:30. But anyway, thank you, man. That
You're
means
welcome.
a lot.
You're welcome, and I mean every word of it.
Well, certainly a movement has begun, has got rolling, and continues to grow, because series announcer, the voice of Chaos, David Ratton, he keeps track of how many cars have entered. I think we have already hit like 200 funny cars that have participated in Funny Car Chaos. Many of them have participated in a Nitro Chaos that will be running right here at Mo-Kan Dragway this weekend. So who knew there was that many funny cars out there in the country?
Yeah, we absolutely did not know that. I've told this story a couple times, and you know, Funny Car Chaos 1 was supposed to be only once, and we said we're going to do this outlaw funny car race, and we're going to qualify 8 cars, and oh my gosh, now we got 20 entries. We're going to have to add a B field, and so at Funny Car Chaos 1, the B field was a 16 car field, and the A field was an 8 car field, and we couldn't believe that we had enough cars to fill all those fields. And we got done, and I thought, well, that was pretty cool. You know, maybe we'll do it again next fall. This is at North Star Dragway when I worked there and lived there at the time. And I thought, okay, well, we'll do it again next fall, and you know, this thing is probably going to work. But the racers wanted more, and the phone started blowing up. And I got Havana and Amarillo and all. I've never been to any of these tracks that are calling. And then thank God Carl called, and here we go. And John Hill and Randy Renew stepped up at the time with Redline Shirt Club and Invested Texas Barbecue Sauce to fund our initial first ever point series. So it's just been an amazing ride so far, but it's all because we've had so many people support us along the way, helping us with these payouts and helping us with the championship fund, and the racers showing up, and they love it and we love it, and y'all ought to come check it out.
Yep. And I'd like to say that the first time I heard about Nitro Chaos, Chris and I were in Bermuda, and we were sitting around having a few beers. And he starts telling me he's going to do this Nitro race at Eddyville, and I'm thinking, Chris, you're spreading yourself too thin. You know, this is never going to work. But it's been incredible so far. The race we had here last year, I'm going to say it was the best race we've ever had at Mo-Kan, but I believe this one this weekend is going to top it.
Well, somehow this year, even with the weather issues that have, for the first time, it seems like ever, plagued the Chaos brand, every event has ramped up and got bigger and bigger, even from the Classic. I mean, the Classic was great this year. Not no slouch of event, but then the next one was even better. Then the split with Edgewater and Odessa, both were great events, and they worked out. We go to Nitro Chaos and Funny Car Chaos with the double at Eddyville. What a spectacular event. And whenever we do get to wrap up Kearney right here on Labor Day weekend, it's going to be great too. So it just keeps getting better and better.
Let's not leave out Maryland. We got 38 cars right now entered for the biggest funny car race on the East Coast since I don't know when. And I always verify these stats with Brett Kepner. And we for sure are bringing the most funny cars ever to Albuquerque. And I'm pretty sure we're bringing the biggest East Coast funny car race in 40 years. And there's about 35 of those 38 have never run Chaos before. So we're really looking forward to meeting all the new racers and fans out there on the East Coast.
For sure. And get crab cakes. You gonna get crab cakes?
Crab cake? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll eat anything out of the ocean, man. Big seafood guy.
Yep.
Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. Look, put your questions in for Mr. Graves, Mr. Blanton, and Mr. Palmer, and we'll be wrapping up the show here soon, live from Mo-Kan Dragway. This is Chaos Live.
Celebrate our 60th anniversary at the Big One. Friday night and Saturday, July 28th and 29th with Funny Car Chaos. Over 20 flip-top funny cars from across the country will do battle side by side. Plus pro mods, nostalgia racing, and mind-blowing jet dragsters both nights. Every ticket is a pit pass, and kids 10 and under get in free. Get your advance tickets at Yearwood Performance Center or online at abqdragway.com. No ticket sales at the gate. There has never been this much horsepower through the gates of Albuquerque Dragway, and we're celebrating our 60th with the big one. Don't miss Funny Car Chaos, July 28th and 29th. Trust us when we say you've just gotta be there.
Well, we're back, and I've got people all over the place. Chris will be back. He's getting more beer, which is very important. It's a short beer run, but beer runs on Chaos Live need to be made. So he's made the beer run. He's back. And Scott, you're doing good over there. You only dropped it 2 times, and you got through that over the beer.
Getting used to the fancy beer.
Well, Scott,
Should be a long week.
Scott, after this weekend, what does the rest of your drag racing year in 2023 look like?
I have some crazy stuff coming up, which is going to be awesome. But we'll run. We leave here, go to Dom Lagana shop, 142 Speed Shop in Brownsburg, Indiana. Pick up my the second car is up there getting completely redone. He has completely redone this car. It's like a brand new car. So I can't wait to get there. I have to be there Monday after this race. The car is a bare chassis, wired plumbed. We have to put a rear end and the whole motor combination in it, and be in Richmond, Virginia Thursday with both cars. So we're gonna run both cars, and Larry Dixon and Artie Allen, we're doing a match race, and they're having a bunch of alcohol dragsters, and it's a PDRA, like an all-star event. They're not at fire, so it's gonna be a big show. I mean, that's gonna be a big show, but it's a lot of work to get there. And this is like starting our 6-week marathon of racing. So we'll leave there and go to Topeka. We're in Topeka, and then we're going to do a deal, Osborne, I think it's in Arc City. The J.R. Sandlin sponsors it, the Sandlin Iron and Metal deal. Maybe it's been, I think it's Arc City. But
I think it must be Arc City.
Gotta be. It is. I'm kind of over there by them. And I haven't been there in a long time. I've only been there once, and that was in the 90s, so I'm anxious to go there. And then we'll do a bunch of, we'll probably do 6 more NHRA races probably. And then we have Stampede of Speed, the whole week long festival there in our night. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. It's about.
He's forgetting one really important one.
Oh, the Baton Rouge deal. I can't wait for Baton Rouge.
Funny Car Chaos Championship Finals.
Is that the final?
Yes. We're crowning the champion, baby.
I hope it's Alex Parker.
Oh,
that's
Marlo.
He's from Marlo.
Yeah.
That's my hometown.
Oh, man. You know what? Whoever wins the championship this year is going to be well-deserved, because
They're gonna earn it.
we've never had a points chase like what we got right now.
No, it's unbelievable.
It's tight.
I'm a big Kirk Williams fan for sure, because I've said his name 2 or 3 times already. But man, if Alex wins, I don't want his head to swell up too big because he's young. I don't want him to get too cocky. But
Yeah.
if he wins that championship,
It's going to be great either way.
it's going to be great. Either way, it's going to be great.
But Palmer is going to be there with both of the Nitro Pro Mods at Baton Rouge State Capitol, September 15th.
Oh, yeah. And we have a lot of people sending me messages asking if we're still coming. And I said, absolutely. Anybody watching this, we are going to be in Baton Rouge, because if you ain't ever been to Louisiana, you ain't never seen a party.
Dude, last
And
year,
it'll be out in the stands or wherever.
we got
It's
overwhelmed
crazy.
last year.
It's crazy.
They hadn't had a big race at that track. I don't know when.
Right.
And we come down there, and the vibe in the pits was insane.
Yeah.
People were. Clay Cunningham said he sold the shirt off of his model thing that was hanging on the. I mean, they sold every shirt they had.
Right.
I mean, the people ate it up.
Yeah.
And we didn't technically have a full show, if you think about it.
16 funny cars, the lowest car count we've ever had.
Really?
I'm not kidding. Yeah. Well, we blew up a whole bunch of them at Ennis the weekend 2 weeks before, and we literally lost 12 cars, I think. But anyway, doesn't matter. Baton Rouge, State Capitol. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. That's going to be a big show for sure. That's October, right?
September.
September.
15th, 16th.
Yeah,
2 weeks after Mo-Kan.
Yep.
Which is a double race.
Which is a double race somehow.
Scott, we do have a
You didn't
fan.
pay for it. No.
We do have a fan asking, are you ever going to be in Cordova anytime soon?
Yeah.
Yes,
I am
you
gonna be in
are.
Cordova. I forgot about that too. I have been on the bad list at Cordova for a few years. Ask Scott Gardner and his wife. I've been on the bad list for a decade or two, but I'm making a reappearance. I'm back in.
I heard that.
It's
I
kind of
was
like
asking Scott.
I'm off probation after 20 years. That's not the first time I've been on probation either, by the way, if anybody's wondering. But yeah, I'm making an appearance the weekend before Indy. So I'm coming back. I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me, because I don't want to forget everybody, but I like going anywhere. But this weekend, of course, I'm excited because I live right over there. So this is going to be a big race.
We've also got someone mentioning that you used to do some match racing with Mike Newkirk.
Oh, Sammy, right here. We did it here.
Yeah.
He's the only one who could do a burnout with me, except J.R. Sandlin, which y'all will see this weekend, which will be insane. But me and Sammy, we started off at Ozark Raceway. We came here and did some match racing. I think it's funny cars. He corrected me on this. I think it was called the Girl Watcher.
Yeah, it still is. Until last year, yeah.
Yeah, because I told him, I was like, what's this new car you got? I mean, you got to put Girl Watcher on that. Well, now he's all domesticated and got a new wife, so he can't have Girl Watcher. I get it. You sold out, Sammy. He sold out a little bit, but he's got a great wife, so I don't want him to lose her. So.
Yeah.
I remember the first time he showed up at Chaos was Amarillo, and that's all rough drag strip right there.
Yeah,
And
well, I've been.
he laid a burnout down, and I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna have to go talk to this guy. That was too long.
Yeah.
Like, holy
Yeah,
crap.
yeah.
So yeah, we love it when Mikey pulls in.
He's actually, I'm sure he's going to correct me on this, but I'm pretty sure he was in my lane at the end of the burnout, but neither one of us could see through the smoke. And I'm pretty sure he was in my lane under power when he went by me, but there's no way he was going to let me be under power last.
Yeah, right.
So, and he couldn't see nothing, so he just went ahead and did it in my lane with me. So, but he's going to say that was me, but I'm pretty sure that was him that did that.
Uh-huh.
I can believe it being him. He
Yeah.
was at Kearney. He was helping
Right.
Matt Neeson,
Yeah.
and it's Mike Newkirk, Matt Neeson, a couple crew members. We're all standing around. I'm like, Mike, I want you to know something. When you were in that final round and I thought about it, I was like, I haven't filmed anybody running because I don't bother to film the shutdown. I just filmed the top end interview, but I was like, Mike's in this final. I need to film this. And sure enough, I film it and boop, into the wall. I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, there it is. That's why I'm filming.
And other than that, tearing his car up a little bit, which I know they're no problem. They'll get that fixed, but that's Sammy. I mean, he's one of those two. I mean, if it had to happen, at least they got him some good attention. And that car's hauling ass. I mean,
That car's running.
He's got that
man.
car running
Yes.
fast. I mean, he's got it running. I'm proud of him.
Heck yeah.
'Cause they got it going on.
They certainly do. Mudcat, he's running the Top Fuel Dragster this weekend and also the Nitro Pro Mod. That's what Scott is running. Carl, there are other events, obviously, here at this track, though I've got to say that the Chaos ones are their premier events, but there's Drag and Drive that comes in here from what I understand. There's bracket racing. What are some other highlights of events you have here at Mo-Kan this year?
Well, we have a great bracket series that we do 14, 15 times a year. We're kind of getting into the busy season here. We'll have Hot Summer Nights here. It's our signature small tire race. That's coming up the first week of August. Actually, next weekend, we'll have our truck and diesel drags, which is popular if you like black smoke. And we've got the Spam drags, which is the offshoot of the original ham drags. So, until we can have ham, there's Spam. And that's a kind of a nostalgia, traditional hot rod. Some people might say rat rod. Customs
Very
kinda,
cool race.
Yeah, it's a cool race.
Yeah.
That'll happen 2 weeks before Chris comes back with Funny Car Chaos. And then we'll just roll right on into October with a hot rod reunion and our CDRA bracket finals that I think we've been doing close to 30 years now. So, yeah, we're going to have a busy rest of the year. We got some big races coming up. Mo-Kan-Dragway.com. Click on schedule, click on the event.
One of the most impressive things I've seen is I came here on a regular bracket night. Well, these guys everybody was here, but I mean, they were racing too, and Ricky had just got this dragster, so we bring his car here because his dad raced here, was a big time racer. And we come here, and Friday testing tuning, there's a few cars here. Saturday, the place is packed. I think there was 140. How many bracket cars were here that day?
Probably 140 or so.
Yeah, it was packed.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy. To keep a place for the bracket racers to run is impressive. And we need that. We need those racers, you know. I tell everyone the best racers in the pits are not driving top fuel cars. They're bracket racing. Top fuel racers, very few of them can bracket race, you know. There's a few of them, but I'm not one of them. I wish I could, but I'm not the guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
My goal is to get them not to go to super comp. They need to go into funny car.
Yeah.
You know, go from juniors to funny car. Just skip, you know.
Skip
I
the
mean,
rest.
rear engine dragsters are okay, but there's like 5 million of them. We need, come on, funny cars. Funny cars.
Yes, funny cars
Yes.
for sure, or altereds.
Yes.
You know,
I
we
want
need.
fuel altered racing to get as big as Funny Car Chaos.
I already own fuelalteredchaos.com and the Facebook page.
See,
Let's go. Fred Spell Paving for Fuel Altered Chaos.
that's what I want to see get
And-
bigger. You know,
And Jet Car Chaos,
I have
right?
that too, yeah.
Yeah.
I also have
What-
Pro Mod Chaos, Small Tire Chaos, Big Tire Chaos, Jet Car Chaos. That's the
Chris, what do you think? I've had this idea for a long time. $50,000 to win jet car bracket race.
I'm in. Let's
Okay.
do it.
Actually, it's Logan Diggs' idea, but I like it. What do you guys
Well,
think?
you got the drag strip.
Yeah,
I
let's
can
do
do a
it.
flyer.
Yeah, we just need the money.
Well, Fred Spell Paving, Jet Car Chaos.
he's got his checkbook. Fred must be drinking today.
He's having a good time somewhere.
He's on the tequila right now.
He's on that
awful free with that money.
1842. He is. Yeah, he's.
Because we got it on film. So
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of money going on everywhere, but right here. I'm kidding.
No, I think he got 500.
We got. He has done amazing things for us and kept the chaos going, and our racers are grateful, and so am I.
So am I. I mean, I know I don't get by the RV, Fred. I'm sorry, but thank you for always offering food and drinks and everything. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for your help personally and for the help for the series and to the racers. And Chris, we've got Nitro Chaos this weekend at Mo-Kan Dragway. There's been a shift in the schedule, though, going back to familiar territory with Nitro Chaos, first time for the championship finals of this series. Looks like there's brand new life at Pine Valley down there in Lufkin. And how was it with the Outlaw Fuel Altereds? Uh-oh, he's calling again. Fred.
Here we go again.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
another 500 for the top fuel record for this weekend.
Another 500.
Wait,
Did you just hit the jackpot?
We're up to 2.
2,000. Okay, we got it. Thank you, Fred.
$2,000 for Scott Palmer to break the record in the top fuel car.
Getting sponsors is that easy, ladies and gentlemen.
I probably owe Fred that money, and he knows he ain't gonna get it back, so he's just gonna put it in there.
Well, what a deal. Hey, your weekend's getting better already, and it's only Wednesday.
It's getting better.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey,
Ask
wait,
that question.
I caught this too. We got to take account. Fred Spell also says $500 more for the fuel altered record. So we doing fuel altered records too now?
No,
Are we gonna
we
say
can.
there's
Don't
top
matter
fuel
to me.
fuel altered?
Yeah.
We'll take Fred's 500 one way or another. I promise. Hey,
But you still got to pay for that blower for Jeff Deal, Fred.
Oh,
Jeff Deal needs that blower.
that's right. Jeff Deal's HITing his pants right now.
Right.
What? Western Swing's coming up. Also want to thank Fred Spell Paving for supporting the D field in Maryland. We will be qualifying 32 funny cars in Maryland. That is the third 32 funny car field this year, which is freaking bonkers and super awesome. So many people also helping, but thank you, Fred, for throwing in. And I'm sorry I forgot your question originally.
Altereds at Pine Valley. How was it, and how do you think that would translate to Nitro Chaos?
Yeah, I talked to Austin Hayward today for about 30 minutes on my way here. He came from Baytown, and we've become closer and closer as we're dealing with these races and stuff. The Outlaw Fielder race was great. There was a lot of people there. He's very excited about what we're trying to do. Very smart guy that has been around the sport and knows what's going on. That's also great to deal with on my end of things. So we're really looking forward to it. But yeah, we actually talked for 30 minutes today on the way here. The Nitro Chaos Championship Finals is already looking very good. We were very pleased with the turnout we saw at Outlaw Fielders on a 3-week notice with limited budget to do a lot of marketing and things like that. And we've had a badass Funny Car Chaos races down there. Extremely large race in 2019 it was at that time the biggest race we'd ever had. It's down there in East Texas and there's not a lot of other stuff going on, and so that tends to play in our favor with Funny Car Chaos, and especially a track like that. It's a great facility, so we're really looking forward to that.
Ray Stringer wants to know Albuquerque, how many fields as of right now?
I want to know why Ray Stringer's not here.
Good point.
Yeah. Okay. I'm busting your chops, Ray. But he was number 2 in points after the first 2 races, and I really tried to get him to come to Eddyville. But anyway, how many fields in Albuquerque? There's 31 cars. We will not run a D field in Albuquerque unless someone hands us $6,000 to do so. But 32, no. 24, yes. And 31 on the list right now. But it takes $6,000 to run a D field. That's what the payout is. So, of course, we would accept any sort of financial contributions to do so to support these racers. But
if you have a D field, do they get points?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So if you run a D field, it's like
points and payout. Yep.
Yeah, that's the deal I like about it. You don't have to be the fastest car.
That's right.
In points to win this.
Ask Alex Barker.
I know.
Ask Tom Furches.
And I told them, don't get carried away, man. Don't. We all want to go faster, but you just need to.
The way to succeed in chaos is consistency.
Yeah, go down the track.
Mm-hmm.
Singleton did it.
Mm-hmm.
Kirk and them do it. I mean, that's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I haven't announced this because, well, the way the race went, it's got to some degree wait for the Carney recap, which is going to have to wait till we run the thing here. But so that everybody knows, there's definitely a points upset in Funny Car Chaos because Alex Barker blew the transmission up. So he didn't even qualify for the event. So Kirk Williams is definitely like a shark smelling blood in the water out there, ready to gobble up some points.
But don't think
you get one drop.
You get one drop.
One drop.
So you just can't mess up again. Pressure's
That's
on.
right. Get one drop.
And we were on the phone, Jamin Hogg and Rand, a bunch of his friends up in Omaha. They street race and have some badass cars. And I was on the phone that night trying to find a transmission for Alex, which is cool. And it just didn't.
I couldn't believe there was 30 cars up there and nobody had what he needed. He was like, "We're done." I'm like, "What?"
Well, I'm a clutch guy, so Alex has a clutch and a Linko laying there because I know where it came from. But I bet it has a Linko in it when it comes back out.
Yeah.
At the very least, a Linko.
They were talking about that. It was serious discussion that he needs to learn how to use the clutch, and they even said he might be in a fuel funny car to keep chasing for points.
I was about to say, meanwhile, Daddy Todd will be here this weekend with the
It got
Corvette.
crazy. I went to high school with Todd.
That is crazy.
And now they're, because of Funny Car Chaos, they're out here doing this.
He came from Dirty South Gassers. Yeah.
He sure did. Funny Car Chaos made that all happen. So he may want to thank you, or he might hate you. Right now, they feel good.
We'll ask him Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night. We'll see. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'm the guy who's saying, "Hey, put a blower on it. Why are you messing around with that? Put a blower on it. Let's go. Bigger header flanks. Come on, put a blower on it." Once they get those things lined out, they're going to be
fast.
Those are going to be hard.
Chase Copeland's going to do some damage this weekend, I think.
They have it figured out.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really close.
They're really
to being
close.
consistent. Yeah. And
that's our injected nitro alter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. That'll be fun to see.
And they work together with Todd, and they're all buddies. We're all buddies. Chase, when he graduated high school, moved up there to Missouri and worked on the team when I had this sponsor deal till it fell apart. Him and Killer, who works on the Capco deal, but Chase moved up there, and he was a kid from Walters, Oklahoma. Just moved up there away from home. It was pretty awesome to see what he's become now too. It's pretty cool.
Those are the kind of people that are in the chaos that is making it special.
It is. That's the story.
They're there because they want to be there.
They want to be there. Yeah. And it's a great series. I'm surprised more people haven't crossed. I'm surprised you don't have 150 cars.
It's okay. We're good.
But you got plenty of cars.
Yeah, we're good.
You have the right cars for the crowd.
Absolutely.
You have the perfect mix of cars and characters. You got
There's a lot of characters.
There's a lot of
I
characters.
like some characters.
There's a lot of characters. You really need a YouTube channel like these guys are getting, where you can, and you may have it. I'm not. Really,
Mic them up.
Yeah, well, we're working on
You
it.
need to
Me
mic
and Lee
them up.
talk about things all the time. But what can we do to profile the actual drivers? It's not, it's about the car, and all the cars have names, which is great.
Right.
And they all have hero cards, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, that's Valley Thunder. And, oh,
Yeah, mic them up.
right.
That would be
But the people are also, so Lee does a fantastic job on the Funny Car Chaos YouTube channel. So we're doing top end interviews and pit segments, and you got it going on, man. We appreciate it.
See, I don't know how to do all that.
Well, you don't have time to sit around and watch YouTube.
But I want to.
You got like 9 Nitro cards.
And a margarita machine.
And a margarita machine.
No,
That's not here.
Don't talk about
Yeah,
it.
that's not
Because I live so close, it could happen. So
Well, I mean,
it's not out of the option.
Bart, you have my truck right now. Take it over
I
there and
know.
go get it.
You're right. That's a good point.
Where is my truck?
I have no idea.
One of your guys took it about 2 hours ago.
But I'm not driving it, so
No, you're not.
you're in good. You're in good
Neither
hands.
am I. Yeah, it's all good. It's somewhere.
Well, folks, look, this has been great. There is going to be a fabulous drag race this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Smokin' Mo-Kan. You need to be here. Look, I went from South Carolina to Iowa for the first ever Nitro Chaos. You've got no excuse. Suck it up and get to a Nitro Chaos. Just
Oh.
like Scott Palmer, Carl Blanton, Chris Graves, get out there. You can go halfway across the country. It's a plane ride. It's a trip, road trip. Make it fun. And then you're going to have fun here. You need to get Nitro Chaos in your system. So Scott Palmer, Carl Blanton, Chris Graves, I'm Lee Kraft. This has been Chaos Live from the tower at Smokin' Mo-Kan. We're done. We're out.
Race fans, are you ready for this? The Nitro Party is back at Mo-Kan as we celebrate our 61st anniversary with Nitro Chaos. Friday night and Saturday, July 14th and 15th. Over 20 Nitro-powered ground pounders of all kinds in a Run What You Burn battle for $35,000. These fire-breathing monsters come to life under the lights with 2 rounds of Friday night qualifying. Saturday afternoon is final qualifying before the gloves come off. In elimination Saturday night, plus special guest and event Grand Marshal, Missouri's own Nitro legend, Scott Palmer will be in the house, looking to break the all-time track record in his top few dragster. Both nights, and see Stutzilla versus Bad Attitude Nitro Pro Mods side by side. Both nights. Can you handle the chaos? Kids 12 and under are free, and every ticket's a pit pass. Visit MoKanDragway.com for more info. July 14th and 15th, Nitro fumes and header flames will fill the sky. Trust us when we say, you gotta be there.